The start of our forever, the sun dipped low behind the hills, casting its golden hues across the sky as we stood together at the edge of tomorrow. The world around us seemed to pause, holding its breath, as if recognizing the moment when two lives, once separate, now began to intertwine in the most profound way. We were no longer just two people wandering through life, but souls who had found each other in the vast expanse of time and space. Our hearts beat in synchrony, and for the first time, I felt the weight of forever pressing gently on my chest, not as a burden, but as a promise. In your eyes, I saw not just love, but the reflection of a journey that was only beginning, one that would stretch out before us, filled with endless possibilities. This moment, this quiet pause was our beginning, the start of everything we had dreamed of and all that was yet to unfold. We held hands tightly, knowing that this was the foundation of something timeless and unbreakable. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it the scent of fresh earth and blooming flowers, reminding me of how the seasons change, how everything in nature has its time to grow and evolve. Our love, like the flowers around us, had blossomed in its own time, its roots reaching deep into the soil of our souls. It wasn't instant, nor was it always easy, but it was always real. From the first spark of connection to the quiet moments of understanding, every step we took together had led us here, to the point where we could no longer imagine a future without each other. Each laugh, every tear, every moment shared had woven a thread into the fabric of our love, making it stronger and more resilient. I thought of all the things we had yet to discover about each other, the adventures that awaited us, the challenges we would face, and how our love would grow in the process. But no matter what came our way, I knew we would face it side by side, hand in hand. As we walked through the streets of the city, the world around us continued to buzz with its usual energy, unaware of the monumental shift that had just occurred. We were both quiet, lost in the depths of the promise we had just made to each other. It was as though we had spoken in a language only our hearts could understand, and the rest of the world faded into the background. Our journey had begun, but the road ahead was uncharted, a blank canvas waiting for us to paint our dreams and desires across it. There would be bumps along the way, moments when the path would feel uncertain, and yet I felt an unshakable sense of peace. Because no matter what happened, I knew that the love we had found would guide us through. It would be the light that shone in the darkest of times, the warmth that kept us close, even when the world tried to pull us apart. Together, we were unstoppable, bound by a love that could weather any storm. We found ourselves at the edge of the water, the gentle waves lapping against the shore, a soft rhythm that mirrored the beat of our hearts. As the stars began to twinkle above us, the night unfolded in a quiet symphony of whispers and silences, and it was then that I realized how much I had longed for this, for you, for us. There was something profoundly beautiful in the simplicity of the moment, in the way our hands fit together as though we had always been meant to be there. There were no grand gestures, no extravagant promises, just the quiet understanding that this was where we were meant to be, together. The future, once a distant concept, now felt tangible and real, woven into the fabric of this moment. And as I looked into your eyes, I saw a lifetime of shared experiences, a future where we would grow and change, but always return to each other, always find our way back. This was the beginning of everything. The days that followed were filled with the kind of quiet joy that only comes from being with someone who truly understands you. There were moments of laughter, of deep conversation, and of simply existing together in the same space. Each day felt like a new chapter, a new verse in the poem of our love. It wasn't always perfect, of course. There were disagreements, misunderstandings, and times when life felt overwhelming. But even in those moments, there was a sense of reassurance, and knowing that we were in this together. I would never have to face the world alone again, and neither would you. There was comfort in the ordinary, in the shared glances, the inside jokes, and the small, quiet acts of kindness that spoke volumes. In those moments, I realized that love isn't just about the big, grand gestures. It's about the way we show up for each other every single day, in the little things, the small moments that add up to something extraordinary. As time passed, we began to build the life we'd always dreamed of, one filled with laughter, adventure, and love. There were days when everything seemed perfect, when the world was aligned just right, and we felt as though we could conquer anything together. And then there were days when the weight of the world felt heavy, and we had to lean on each other to carry the load. But through it all, we never lost sight of what mattered most, each other. We learned how to communicate, how to compromise, and how to love without reservation. We built a home together, not just a physical space, but a place where our hearts could always find refuge. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it, because in every challenge we faced, in every obstacle we overcame, our love grew stronger. And with each passing day, we became more certain that we were exactly where we were meant to be, together. There were moments quiet and profound when I would look at you and feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the love we shared, for the life we were building, and for the simple joy of being with you. I realized that love isn't something that can be measured by the grand milestones or the dramatic moments. It's found in the everyday, in the quiet moments where we choose to be present with one another. It's in the way we support each other, even when the world feels like it's falling apart. It's in the way we hold each other close, even when the distance between us feels like miles. Love is not a destination, it's a journey, and we were walking it together side by side. I didn't need to look ahead to see our forever. It was right here, in every moment we shared. It was the start, but it was also everything. The beginning and the forever.